Fire space is gonna be down here somewhere.
We're on.
No, we're not. Oh, we are. Oh, we're on him. So we're not
Are we
But we
live?
weren't looking at
out
them.
loud.
Oh,
Big like, big like.
Less like this, Nina. Use your inside voice. Okay.
I look like I'm looking at my phone a lot. I promise I'm not
I'll
watching
call
the
the meeting
Stanley
to order.
Cup.
Nina, please take the roll.
Councilman Bundy,
Present.
Councilman Brennan,
Present.
Councilman McCain,
Present.
Councilman Stokes.
Present.
Mayor
Present. Present, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum for the September 28th, 2020 meeting at 6. Councilman, really quick, I need to add something to the agenda. It's a grant, it's a Realtor Community Foundation grant. It's the intent, the Mountain Home Police Department to apply for a $5,000 grant. The reason I need to add it is because it's due at the end of the month.
Mayor,
Councilman Bundy.
this is a grant that we do have a time restriction on, so I'd like to make the motion that we add the grant application approval request to the agenda.
Second. The motion is second. I'll call for the question. Councilman Stokes.
Aye.
Councilman Bundy.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman McCain.
Aye.
All righty. Run down to item number 2, recognize the persons in the audience. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to get up and speak for 3 minutes? Run down, Ted.
Ted Thompson, Airport Manager, Thompson Aviation, 2614 Airbase Road. Thank you for the opportunity to talk this evening. I would like to talk on item G on the consent agenda for cleaning and inspection costs for fuel tank at the city airport. My contract with the city has been for utilization of the tanks at the airport to provide fuel for airplanes. Only one of 2 tanks has been available for my use, for my company's use. After my first firefighting season, recognized I didn't have enough jet fuel capacity in the city's truck that, again, I had use of. So I asked the city to put that underground tank back in service, the empty one back in service. I was told there wasn't enough money to do that. So I procured a small tank. Thought that was going to be enough. The provider of that tank said, "You really want a 10,000?" And I said, "I don't sell 10,000 in a year, so I don't need that big a tank." And that worked for the next year. We did pretty good. We actually sold 18,000 gallons. In 2018, I needed that 10,000 gallon tank. I kept running out. And again, I asked the city to put that back in service so we could use that, and was told there wasn't enough money. I actually looked at, asked some companies to give some estimates. One of them came in with 25,000 just to look at it. Another was over 80,000, and I wasn't sure whether that was to just look at it or to actually do some work on it. Either way, again, I was told that there's not money to do that. So I took steps to procure a tank and install it with the city's approval. Did that. It went operational this year. It's been fantastic. We're able to support BLM in setting records for return drop in airplanes from the Mountain Home Airport. And one of the reasons they're able to do that is because we had the gas available for them. And with the truck that I purchased and the city's truck and our team of refuelers, we were able to help do that. 12 single engine air tankers operating off of this airport in one day, just unprecedented. So we're able to do that. So right now we have enough gas. We have that. I have 18,000 gallons of storage and dispensing capability right now. When I started, and that's jet fuel. When I started, there was a 1,200 gallon truck. That's a 15 times increase in capability that we've been able to provide for supporting BLM. And we've been able to provide fuel now at a lower price. So the taxpayers, all of us taxpayers, are paying a lower price to support firefighting efforts as a result of that investment. The second issue on spending this money is I think there are more pressing issues to spend money on in Mount Hope Airport. There are some safety issues that we need to resolve. We've got a gate that's not working, so traffic now is driving out on the aircraft movement area. We need to fix that gate and put in roads so people no longer need to drive on the aircraft movement area to get to their hangars. So there'll be a better way, in my view, to spend that money. I use my personal vehicle. I had been using my personal vehicle to do runway inspections with a light that I purchased to get on top and a handheld radio. And I've had some incidences where airplanes didn't know I was on there, didn't see the light that I had on my vehicle. And I don't want to say close calls because they really weren't close, but it's closer than I would prefer to have. So I would like to see a vehicle that has proper lighting and proper radio connectivity in it so that we can run these things, I can run these inspections in a more safe manner. So I think there are better things, frankly, to spend this money on than a tank that I'm not sure we need right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but not right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. Does anybody else like to get up and speak? Chief Connors, come on down.
Just take a couple of minutes. Week ago Saturday, we had the thank you first responders at Century 21 Southern Idaho Realty, which was really cool. The guys had some really neat bags for us with flashlights and candy and good stuff in it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Councilman Stokes, Councilman Bundy, his family, the Tiny Closet Pioneer Federal Credit Union, the CS Beef Packers, the Taverne family, the Drake family, and the Chamber. So it was awesome, cool event. We appreciate it. And I want to say thank you, and I want to let you know that thanks for sending the leftovers up. So Thursday we had a pretty good barbecue for all the guys. Thursday at lunchtime with all the leftover stuff. So thanks again, appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief. Run down to item number, I'm sorry, is anybody else like to speak? Seeing none, I'll run down to item number 3. Councilman, you got anything?
Mayor, I just have a question, for, Mr. Urquidi. Richard, we got something working on for that gate so they can't just drive through there. I've heard that before too.
We're just waiting for the parts. It was like 3 weeks out, 3 or 4 weeks out, so it should be here this week or next week.
Oh, okay, thank you. That's all.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
piggybacking off Chief Connor, I'd like to thank Chief Moore from the Mount Hunt Fire Department for drilling and some of those firefighters. That was awesome.
Good to see that. Thank you.
They were awesome. Thanks, Chief Moore.
All righty, we'll run down, Councilman, anything else? If not, we'll run down to item number 4 on the consent agenda. Councilman?
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
I have something on the actual city council minutes from September 14th that I'd like to add if the council would so approve. We had a pretty lengthy conversation on the topic of the archive social thing, and the council as well as the mayor made an agreement through verbal and head nods to let me get to my notes, I'm sorry.
Fine.
To make sure that the commenting is turned on for the citizens starting at the conclusion of the meeting. And so to me, that's important to show that we're concerned and we care. And I'd just like to have the agreement put into the minutes that was approved.
Nina?
That the commenting be turned on as soon as the meeting's over.
Right. So it's not during a meeting.
And you can go back and listen to it, I would assume, to get the right verbiage, but yeah,
It's at 42 minutes into the recording. It's there.
we did discuss that.
So turn it on as soon as the meeting's over, bam.
Yep.
Okay, not during the meeting though.
Correct.
Okay.
And if we could adopt that through interlineation of. Very good. Okay. We okay with that?
Council, you all good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Definitely. Yeah.
Yep, all good.
And I guess, can I keep going?
Yeah,
A few more things. On item G, which is the the fuel tank inspection and cleaning, I wanted to ask Rich or Keedy as to how much is it going to cost us to basically take the sludge and get rid of it, since they're cleaning it, but they won't take their own cleaning stuff with them.
I'd have to see what it is to take it to, I didn't check on that, but what it is to take out to,
Use ecology.
US Ecology.
I don't know, it's probably more than simply exposing of diesel fuel, because I would assume it's going to have all the cleaning agents in it too.
Yeah, we just need to tell them they just need to make sure they mark on what it is so we can get it disposed of. So,
Is there any way to negotiate for that into that price that they're charging us, the disposal fee? Too late for that.
I could ask him about it. So, I mean, I can certainly ask about it, but that was, yeah.
I just don't like the idea of them cleaning it and saying, here's all the garbage.
I agree with that.
So, obviously somebody has to do it. So if they won't, I'm sure we will, but wouldn't hurt to ask.
And can I ask a follow-up question on
Councilman Bundy?
that? Mr. Mayor? Could you explain to us what G means and how much we plan on spending and where that money has already been allocated or if it's allocated?
Well, I can at least answer a portion of it. We have buildings, ground maintenance, right? We have funding in there, but then I'll let Rich.
Yeah, that's where it would come from, is right there. And then, I mean, this is just to get, basically this is to clean it out. If there's anything they need to inspect what's inside, they'll inspect all for cracks and holes and whatever. And then they'll come back and give us a price of what it would be to put it back online. This is just to clean it and see if it's going to be usable or not.
Well, in essence, we're also looking to make sure we're not having any environmental effects, correct?
Regardless, say we don't even use the tank, we're gonna have to take it out eventually if it's rotting, and we wouldn't want any of that stuff leaking in.
We just want to know what we have there.
At least it would be cleaned out and ready.
That's all I have on that.
Thanks. Mayor, following up, I heard Ted's comments for sure, and I appreciate him coming to talk. I do feel like it's a city asset that has to be taken care of one way or another. So I don't feel like we're infringing on your business yet, Ted, but just by getting it cleaned up and perhaps in the future ready to be operational. But in the interest of the city, there's an asset there that we have to do something with it instead of just letting it sit and rot, potentially, if it's rotting. So I guess that's my take on that.
Councilman.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry.
Please go ahead.
And then finally on item H, which is the purchasing of the railroad park, I haven't been able to inspect. Have they met all of their obligation with the finalization of the fence? All that?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I got.
It looks good, actually. It looks really good. It's clean. It's 6 feet. It looked a lot better than I thought it was gonna look for the chain link fence, but it looked really good.
It moved back about 20 feet. So
Yeah.
actually, from where the original fence was, it actually moved back quite a ways.
Yeah.
So to go where the property line really is.
Okay,
I'm really surprised this one did that.
good.
Councilman.
Brock, the CRS Engineering Professional Service Agreement, do you know where the 40,000 is coming out of?
I think did I not put it
I
on?
must have missed it. I didn't see where it was coming out of.
Should be in our
I
rail
put a
line.
letter with, oh, yeah, it's rail and URA. It's in the city, it's in City Halls. There's 65,000, I think, that was in that account.
Okay.
I think I did.
I don't see it on here, but as long, I'm just curious as to where it's coming from. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
If you did, I missed it.
I think you missed it. I think I sent it to you. I
Mayor,
had a little.
Councilman Brennan?
follow-up questions on the CRS engineer item for both Brock and Rich. This is an item that we had discussed, I don't know how long ago, but a while back, and the overall project was approved by the council, correct? So this project is simply to identify the issues with the rail spur and not fix anything.
Correct. Yes.
And
So
so,
they've given us a cost already for what it would be to put everything up to the speeds that they need and everything. So we already have that piece done.
okay,
This is for the other infrastructure, such as roadways, sewer, water, all of the more finer details, so that our site can be perceived as more shovel-ready than what it is.
I see. And Brock, we had a conversation about the potential of paying for the things that are identified. What's the expectation there?
The
Or
expectation.
goal, maybe?
Or goal. So I came in on this project a little bit later. However, so the goal is, and our site has been a prime candidate for multiple businesses. Unfortunately, we haven't reached that number one spot yet, but the common concern is we believe that your site is more conceptual than what we want to undertake. So you have all of these base numbers, but you don't have any finite data of the exact cost that we are going to undertake. So the goal is to make our site as shovel-ready as possible by providing the best information. When I said that this gives the city an excellent tool, what I meant by that is when we understand the actual cost, it gives us a better position for if that right employer was to come in, for us to be able to see exactly what risks and the precise monies that they will need to spend in order for it to be operational. So if the city were to be interested in helping subsidize any portion of any sort of development, that we would have all of the facts from the very get-go. As far as funding this project, there are various ways. In fact, one of the things we are paying CRS for is to find us other ways of funding, via grants, via TIP districts, maybe a new URA district. There are tons of ways, but this gives us more information than we have right now, so it can be more marketable.
In TIP district, obviously, another avenue is an LID.
An LAD, so we already have somewhere, it was between 100 and 120 acres. We're looking already to designate that for an LID when we kind of put something together, kind of that first spot. And then that will start paying for the infrastructure. And as people keep coming in, it keeps paying for the infrastructure going in. So the goal is it is not going to be funded out of city budgets. It's going to be funded by itself as it grows and what's going on. That's the plan.
How about like the impact fees? Where would that fall on a project like this?
They would have impact fees and it would go into general fund.
They would have them. Is that something that gets waived when they say we'll put the infrastructure in as part of our development or not?
We can't waive the fire, police, streets impact fees.
Or work in lieu of? It's
Right.
straight, they'd have to pay it?
Right.
Okay.
Or
The
we
water,
have to figure out where it
wastewater.
comes from some other way. But yeah, so they need to pay.
Okay.
So the first report that we received from CRS, the best way to think about it is that was a view of our entire project from like 100,000. I need a view from like 10,000. And I need more precise numbers in order for us to be more marketable for people coming in and just getting that first tenant.
And this is a bare minimum. They came back, when we were first looking at costs with this, it was a lot more than this. They said, okay, here's what we can work with. And so they're actually putting quite a bit in for what we're doing. So they've been really good working with us.
And Paula, you said that money's already aligned or designated.
So, yeah, Mayor and Council, it's in the URA industrial park. There's 46,500 for the rest of this year and the same for next year.
The rest of 2020 fiscal year?
The the new budget will have the same number in it,
Okay.
46,500. And it specifically says URA industrial park.
Okay.
Which is different. There's another line that says rail spur
Mhm.
underneath that.
And that'll probably have to go to Union Pacific to rehab their, because they're the only one that could touch their spur, that spur off the Union P line. they're the only ones that can touch that. We can't have another third-party company come in and fix that from the understanding I got from UP. And so they'll fix the switch and so much of that track that they'll be responsible for. That'll be another expense.
For the budget, are you saying the budget year that ends in like 3 days or 2 days? There's 46 in that now?
Yes. And there's also 46.5 in the new one.
Okay. Will this request of the 40,000 come out of this year that's just about to end?
Do you have an invoice?
This was it,
Do you have a finished product?
Well,
Not a finished product.
So it'll come out next year.
So what we have left right now, 46, will it roll to 2 years from now, or what happens to that?
Yes, it'll catch up. It'll catch up with it.
Okay.
Sorry. Maybe we could split it if you have some
Mr.
product.
Mayor,
Councilman Buddy?
the other council have no other questions. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
Second.
The motion is second. I'll call for the question. Councilman McCain?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
With the addition to the minutes? Aye.
Councilman Stokes?
with the addition of the minutes, aye.
Councilman Bundy?
Aye.
Run down to item number 5, old business. There was none. We'll run down to item number 6, item for moved consent. There was none. Run down to item number 7, final comments. Councilman, got anything? Oh, yep, you're right.
Yeah, we-
Sorry, chief. I was giving it to Nina. No, you're good. You're good. New business, the grant for the police department. It's for the, my only stipulation on this one was I said to the chief is as you guys read it, we definitely want to keep those locked up and inside the city hall. And then just like when we check out something, we know who it goes to. That was my only prerequisite of that, and have a sign out. And obviously when you read it, it's Realtors for Community Foundation to purchase internet protocol-based floodlights, doorbell camera systems, and to donate to individuals in financial need or victims of domestic violence, no contact order, protection order, violation, property damage, property thefts, and other goals preventing crime. That was the only stipulation. If Chief Connor said, "Hey, I have a domestic violence situation. I'd like to give him let's say it's a Ring doorbell for protection," and then Chief comes down here, signs off. That's how it essentially goes.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
you just mentioned like checking him out. Is this a loan?
No,
or-
I mean, sorry,
or
not check out, but like check them out, like to give out.
Just tracking purposes?
Yes,
We'll not-
tracking.
we won't ask for them back.
No,
Okay.
yeah, you're correct. Wait, stop. Something's going on.
Very good. Nope.
I did it earlier.
The computer is.
With
There it goes.
There we go.
Okay, yes, it won't be checking them. It'll be like, I just want it for accounting purposes, this, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then we don't ask for them back, no.
Perfect.
So all I need is a red light and I can make all you guys stop talking.
Yeah.
Push this. Who knew?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Bundy.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the grant application approval request for the security camera crime prevention program for the mayor and the clerk to sign.
Second.
The motion is second. I'll call for the question. Councilman Stokes.
Aye.
Councilman Bundy.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman McCain.
Aye.
All right, run down to final comments. Councilman, you got anything really quick? Hearing none, we'll run down to item number 8, executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74206, subsection 1C, to acquire an interest in real property which is not owned by the public agency.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Bundy.
I'd like to make a motion pursuant to Idaho Code Section 74-2061C to acquire an interest in real property which is not owned by a public agency.
Second. The motion is second. I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman McCain.
Aye.
Councilman Stokes. Aye. Councilman Bundy.
Aye.
All right. Running to executive session.